my interest in biochemistry and biology really came from, looking at nature and trying to figure out how things worked. As a kid, I was interested in mechanical things. So I got a 3-speed bicycle, and the first thing I did was take it apart. I never quite got it back together completely well, but it was like how things work. But I realized then, as complicated as the bicycle seemed to me at that point, with the gear shift and everything, life was a lot more complicated. It became a challenge of really, what is life? And I guess what I really was most interested in was sort of the molecular basis of life, and how at a level of chemistry and molecule by molecule, life is possible.
Just as in previous episodes we've done, it seems the spark started in childhood.
Exactly. And it's especially intriguing that his interest did not necessarily come from a particularly scientific approach, but from a place of curiosity. Dr. Clark understood that science was all around him, and exploring mechanics definitely helped him understand the connection of the pieces with the whole, such as with his bike example.
Big fan of Bob Ross, and I've been going through all his episodes and working through all of them. He adored nature, and he spoke of it with a respect and admiration. He would talk about how he drew inspiration from simply looking at what was around him. Trees, rocks, birds, anything. When you look close enough, you can begin to understand the nature of things, but you have to pay attention and really be observing, he would say. You have to view things with curiosity in mind, and sometimes that's just the spark you need for the fire to go ablaze. But while the initial spark is important, the sustained flame is even more so. As Dr. Clark shared, he completed a summer fellowship in England as an undergrad under Peter Mitchell. His studies piqued an interest in mitochondria that has sustained itself throughout his career.
For many people, their interest in science is definitely present, but it may be harder to maintain this spark for a long time. Dr. Clark had some great advice on this topic.
It's the glow of discovery of, being the first person to find out something about nature. And I tell students that if you want to go into, science, a great test is whether you get totally excited about the smallest new learning. If you need, to say, oh, I'm only going to be happy in science if I make a huge discovery, I think you're going to be discouraged because, may happen, probably won't happen. But if you love, finding out something new, that's going to be a thrill that's going to last you lifetime.
Speaking of discovery, a captivating facet of science is that we are always making new discoveries. Sometimes these discoveries are niche and within only certain areas of study, but other times these discoveries become very mainstream.
Precisely. Take the sequencing of the human genome. Prior to Dr. Clark's entry to the scientific community, this was not yet known. Now, we possess the knowledge and technology to not only sequence an individual's genetic makeup, but also know how many genes we have and so much more.
I think one of the biggest discoveries of the last 50 years was being able to sequence our whole genome. But we had no idea what the numbers were. And the answer to that really shocked me. You have genes that encode proteins, and genes can also encode RNAs, but most of what makes us humans are the protein products of the genes. And so the question is how many there were. And so we first found in the mid-90s in bacteria, like a E. coli, an organism that lives in our gut, had 4,000 genes, okay? And then you sort of work up the phylogenetic ladder to a eukaryote, like a yeast cell, which had 6,000 genes, okay? So, from that, how many genes do you think humans have? You guys want to guess? The number is about 21,000. We only have about 3 times more genes than a yeast cell. The number of genes we have is about the same as a soil worm, C. elegans. So, basically, how do we get this with so few genes? Well, actually, it's a lot of genes. When you start, tacking it up of what you need to do, 21,000 entries is still a lot of entries to figure out. And, I sometimes put it as, understanding life as a jigsaw puzzle with 21,000 pieces. And so what the Human Genome Project got us was it told us what all the pieces were, okay, and how many pieces there were. But we still don't know what each piece does. And so, we sort of turned over the pieces. We have all the pieces now, but we still have to put them together. And that's still the issue. I think we probably know what maybe 6,000 of those genes are doing, but that leaves then what, 15,000 genes that we're not so sure of.
I personally thought we had more genes, closer to a few 100,000 or a million. But Dr. Clark is right. Even 21,000 genes is a lot. It's just enough to provide for life.
Agreed. However, new discoveries also require a healthy amount of suspicion. As Dr. Clark shared, it is easy to go into reading published papers with trust that they hold the truth about the author's research. Despite our desire to trust, not all research is entirely credible.
So I gave a course on, new topics in aging, and I picked 20 papers for the class of 10 to discuss each week. And they're papers I picked because I thought they were making advances. So the class looked at these papers carefully. In the first week, those papers the students destroyed. They basically showed that, in fact, the author's conclusions weren't right. And we felt very proud of ourselves, So week 2 comes along, and the papers get destroyed again. And that was the thing throughout the quarter. By the end of the quarter, we couldn't really even look at each other in the seminar because it was so depressing, right? Throughout the whole quarter, we really learned not much, We learned a bunch of things that weren't true. And so that's something that, I feel like there should be much more attention to.
In science, the publication of papers plays a critical role in bringing new discoveries and conclusions to light. Dr. Clark has taken part in over 300 published scientific papers and had this to say about the process.
Published a little over 300 papers now. And, each one has been a struggle because when you publish papers in science, you want to publish in peer-reviewed journals. You want to have journals that will have other scientists look at your work. And it's sort of a double-edged sword because, you've done stuff that you believe is really good, and then someone criticizes you and says, well, we're not going to publish it because that isn't good enough. And then you sometimes go back and, you'll either argue with them or you'll do further experiments and say, look, I am right. And generally things get published eventually, but it's a hard process. But it's a process, I think, that leads to good science because you're going to be checked and that, things aren't going to be easy.
Dr. Clark's comment about peer review leading to good science is a great observation because I think it's inevitable for personal bias to find its way into your own work. In undergoing the laborious process of peer review, you're really scrutinizing the data.
Okay, let me just interject. This is an interview of a podcast. This is a podcast of Chem Talks. Go to Spotify and look for Chem Talks. Or Chem Talk, CHEM Talk. This is an interview with Dr. Stephen Clark. He is a teacher at UCLA. And the whole point of this interview is that I'm so fascinated by biochemistry and biochemists that I listen to these podcasts with a new interest, with a renewed interest. And basically how I got to get that interest is purely my own health that needed improvement. And I was a macrobiotic freak for 16 years. Lived on well, actually walked barefoot and ate bananas out of plantations and wildest lifestyle, real hippie time. But from that moment on, I was totally fascinated by how our health works, etc., etc. And nowadays, since I was introduced to the word mitochondria, it's a new fascination. So all this video is about hopefully inspiring you to look at a word called mitochondria, like this doctor did as well, and look at how mitochondria play a huge role in our health. Mitochondria, also known as the powerhouse of your cells, they are organelles. Organelles is an expression, a name for little cells within your cells that live their own life. That's why they're called organelles, like their own organisms. And these organelles, called mitochondria, they have a function to transform oxygen and food into ATP. ATP is another abbreviation, a scientific abbreviation, which literally means our energy. The ATP is a term. It is actually an abbreviation for the word adenosine triphosphate, with other words ATP, and ATP is our energy. It is literally human energy. So when your mitochondria, your little organelles within your cells, and we have billions of cells, when they are fed properly and when they are supported properly with the right food and with the right oxygen, then you have a healthy life. Your cells, your mitochondria, will produce ATP, energy, and give your cells enough energy in order to restore that which your ailments are. So when athletes, for example, need to perform, or top sport individuals, when they need to perform, they always are doing their utmost best to feed and to support their mitochondria. That's basically what it's all about. Healthy mitochondria, healthy life, no diseases, and unhealthy mitochondria, when your mitochondria are not fed and supported with the right ingredients and with the right oxygen, etc., you have an unhealthy life, up to the point that it's even deadly. Now, the commercial part of this video is that Dr. Bevan Elliott, together with a CEO called Mr. Roger Hill, let me just mention his name and put his name in here as well. So CEO Roger Hill, Mr. Roger Hill, who worked for NASA as a scientist, later for the Pentagon, together with Dr. Bevan Elliott, both American citizens, they have been working on studies of how to support your mitochondria in order to grant you top health. And they created a formula, a new formula of a tincture called Restore 3.0, a new formula. And they also created a product called Rejuvenate 2.0. But this video all about Restore 3.0, the new formula, which is now available, and it's 100% plant-based, organic. So basically what you see in your screen are the 44 ingredients in this product, and all these ingredients are literally chosen, and they are orchestrated so that it's pain relief as well as functioning for growth and support of your mitochondria. There are no stimulants in this formula, so it's all support for your mitochondria in order to let your mitochondria, your little cells within your cells, function optimal to the utmost best. And when you read this huge list of ingredients itself, you'll be mind blown, because some of these ingredients also are compared to CBD and CBDA oil, and some of the ingredients are the best ingredients out of green tea, and you'll find bilberry, and you'll find spirulina, you'll find anything that has to do with health. So when you're a health freak, and when you are into supplements or chemistry or whatever, you will recognize these individual ingredients, and you'll be mind blown, not only by the combination of these ingredients, but also the amount. And what Dr. Bevan Elliott did, he nanotized these ingredients, and he created an uptake system in where these ingredients will be directly fed to your mitochondria. So most supplements, most food, oxygen goes via your lungs, food goes via, and especially those very, very expensive supplements, they go via your stomach, your intestine system, and a lot get lost. Dr. Bevan Elliott created an uptake system, patented, that delivers these ingredients straight to your cells, straight to your mitochondria on DNA level. So the effect and the how do you say it, the ultimate use is optimum, like not too much or nothing gets lost in your digestive system and your stomach and your intestines. So the combination of these huge the huge list of ingredients together with the uptake system, the patented uptake system of a company called MOREMITO, and I'm not from the company, this is just my enthusiasm. I hope it's like really past midnight. It's in the middle of the night, my apologies, but I'm so enthusiastic that I needed to make this video because I was listening to this podcast. But the list of ingredients having been nanotized together, I should say, plus the uptake system that is patented, delivering these ingredients straight to your mitochondria gives a double whammy effect. And people are literally, and I should say this very carefully, no claims, no medical claims, no advice, no, this is not an official scientific video. This is just a dude being enthused about MOREMITO and the new Restore 3.0 formula. But basically, what this company is doing, and the CEO in particular, instead of publishing a lot of articles in medical publication websites and magazines, the CEO, Mr. Roger Hill, interviews real people after they've used the new product UltraMito Restore 3.0. So there's tons and tons, twice a day he's interviewing people that are using Restore 3.0, and we are at this moment ending up with a huge list of testimonials with people getting amazing results. So I do encourage you, I do inspire you to learn more about mitochondria. A tip is, for example, to just do a search on Google, typing in the word mitochondria and also adding your ailment, whatever your disease is, whether it is something to do with your skin, whether it's mental ailments, Alzheimer's or depression or whatever, suicidal thoughts, or whatever you're suffering with, or whatever you think other people suffer from, including heart and vascular diseases, and this whole huge list of diseases. Do a search on that together with the word mitochondria, and you will find out yourself, do your own due diligence, you'll find out yourself that most, if not all, diseases are always due to unhealthy mitochondria. Mitochondria also, some people start calling it the holy cell, it's not almost, but more and more scientific papers are being published and new studies are finding out, and it's the 13th of January 2024, just to give you a date and a timestamp idea of when this video was made, but more and more studies, more and more scientific papers publishing research results about mitochondria, and more scientists finding out that mitochondria are not only the energy makers but also the communicators in our body. The mitochondria seem to be completely different in different organs. Every organ has its own mitochondria, and the mitochondria communicate amongst our cells, amongst our organs as well. So they're not only the energy makers, but they're also the communicators. And due to the lack of communication / unhealthy mitochondria and bad food and lack of exercise, for example, and not being in nature enough and looking at your screen a lot, and toxic environments, and the lifestyle that we're living at the moment, including not enough sleep, very competitive economic systems. Due to all of these influences, our mitochondria are being influenced negatively, And Restore 3.0 restores your mitochondria so that your body has enough strength and energy to restore itself. So it's not that the ingredients restore your health, but the ingredients being administered with this uptake system feeds and support your mitochondria from where your body will restore. And listen to those testimonials. Now, unfortunately, for people with diseases like cancer or Alzheimer's or whatever horrible, seemingly deadly diseases, it's try or die. So I do recommend you try it out and be careful. No medical claims here, but 2024 is really a new year with new discoveries. So if you really want to know how to recover and live one day at a time, I wish you a happy new year 2024. It's still early enough to wish you a happy new year. And click links below and start right away. You're able to register for free. No mandatory purchases. You're able to just register for free. Click links below this video or somewhere on this page. You're able to even earn commissions without even purchasing. So when you're a professional individual or you already have top health and you wanna grant this new product to other individuals, you're able to resell it. So it's your own online business, absolutely free. No mandatory weekly or monthly orders, or perhaps you don't have enough money yet to purchase your own products. Then you're able to earn money with granting other people this opportunity and purchase your own Restore 3.0 from your commissions. No fuzz or weird upsells, more effective than CBD, CBDA and or THC, wheat oil, etc. in many ways. 100% organic and plant-based. Very important to say that for a lot of people. With this unique nanotech absorption technology, absolutely exclusive at the moment as far as I'm concerned. I should say that with as a disclaimer. And it works at cell and DNA level. Generous profits and team commissions if you want to build up a team. And everyone until now, and that's just the information that I heard from the company, pretty well everyone keeps using it. So marketable worldwide due to the ingredients that are all organic and plant-based. It's marketable worldwide. There's no issues with importing and exporting. That's why they use the ingredients that are not CBD, CBDA and THC and wheat oil related. And it's almost God in a bottle. And I don't say that in order to upset people. I say that with all respect. Obviously, it's never ever going to replace the almighty power, but it's almost God in a bottle. Join for free, earn without purchasing yourself, no ownership requirements, etc. No tricks, no games, no gimmicks. So here you go. Love yourself, love others. 2024, super healthy and financially free. No mandatory purchases again. And when you see this on a page where you can leave your best email address and mobile telephone number, please do so. We'll send you appropriate video information about this marvelous opportunity / other opportunities in order to also create residual and passive income. And that's it. Would it be okay to click on the icons below this YouTube video, the little thumbs up icon, so that this video will be ranked a little higher on YouTube and Google? It has real algorithm behind it. It's not only ego applause. And would it be okay to hit the little bell icon so you'll be notified whenever I or we upload a new video? It'll be my pleasure. And would it be okay to click on a word called share underneath this YouTube video? Click the share option in order to share this marvelous good news video. Sharing is caring. Then would it be okay to become a member of this channel? This is a brand new channel. My old channel was taken away by YouTube. Somehow I did something with copyright infringement. I have no idea what I did wrong, but anyway, 9,000 videos gone But it's like life. Whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So when you really want to know how to recover, this is an opportunity, and it may well be the difference between life and death. Live but one day at a time. Happy New Year. Right time, right products, right team, right video. You really literally clicked on this video. No coincidences. Coincidences are God's way to show He's anonymous. And please do yourself a favor, and I need to hear this. I'm not saying this to talk down on you. I don't want to patronize you. I don't want to create any codependency. You are source. You always have been, you always will be. But anyway, be grateful. This is really how you practice the law of attraction, okay? You don't have to necessarily sit in a $3,000, $6,000 or $9,000 hallelujah to the multi-billionaire NLP indoctrination mass hysteria event in Florida. It's possible, and enjoy those circuses. You don't have to necessarily purchase courses or expensive online follow-up sequence video funnels kind of products from The Secrets. How you practice the law of attraction is to just be grateful. Gratitude is the attitude. When you're grateful, when you smile, and when you're grateful for the person that you would like to become, even though you're not it yet, okay? So if you're sick as hell, and when you're grateful for the person that you would like to become, something magical is happening. Same with material wealth, with the material stuff that you'd like to enjoy here now on earth. You don't have to die for it. That's another scam. And the absolute same with the circumstances as well. So be grateful for the person that you would like to become, even though you're not it yet. Be grateful for the circumstances that you would like to live in, even though your circumstances suck at the moment. And be grateful for the material wealth that you would like to enjoy. And I really talk about cars and boats and fashion and jewelry and whatever is on your wish list. Be grateful for that now already, even though you don't have it yet, with all your might, your emotions, with any visualization techniques that you've learned, and otherwise I'll teach you some real simple, very advanced techniques in order to be grateful and in order to use your noodle as your time machine. But basically, grateful people are always happy, healthy, wealthy, and useful. The opposite is absolutely true and absolutely deadly. It will kill you. When you walk around full of fear, full of resentment, and full of self-loathing, criticism, you will start getting addicted to all kinds of quick fix drugs, alcohol, food, sport, media, fashion, you name it. So gratitude is the opposite of being full of resentment and self-criticism or self-doubt or whatever label you want to give it. And that's my best message, and I say that to hear it myself. I do not tell you that as your upline MLM network marketing guru, pimp, whatever master, promotional speaker or inspirational speaker. I'm saying that to hear that myself, with all respect to those who still wanna go under that label. So don't say that as your priest or a religious leader or whatever. Those are all separating identities. I'm just saying that to hear that myself. Thank you so much for your time. And then I'll see you on yours, and I hope this picture suits you. I'll see you on yours definitely in the most wonderful resorts, most wonderful top hotels worldwide, and on the most beautiful beaches of the world, because you're more and more than worth it, and that lifestyle is there for you too. Enjoy, and I'll see you there.